Oh, baby. You thought there wasn't going to be a video tonight? But there is. Of course there is. There always is. My streak can't be edited for no reason at all. And I just want to say a massive thank you for all the support last night. That was absolutely amazing, absolutely incredible. I'm completely fine. It's good. Well, it feels good right now. Of course, the outcome, the decision is what it is. But as I said on Twitter, everyone saw what happened. And, well, I feel quite secure in that. Anyways, other than that, let's talk about some actual price action analysis today because I do want to get into something that is a little bit more new as far as forecasting goes because, well, other things are more or less boring and this could be of interest. And that is what could be the most likely price range for the end of the month here at November. So as we get into it, I just want to go into the chart view in this moment. And what we're going to do to reference this is we're going to use one of Caretaker's new indicators here called the HPDR cones. Now, this is based off of the HPDR itself, and it uses that as a base formula to then project into the future what those probabilistic ranges would be. Now, I do want to at the outset say that this is more like on the like the experimental side, and also on top of that, it's also more on like the maybe not as useful side. Unless if you're an options trader, then it's extremely useful. I'm actually trying to plug in my computer right now. Check out my Tupac shirt. It's actually Elsa's. There we go. Okay, and yes, so in this case, you're obviously familiar with the HPDR bands, but what I'm referencing now is all of these squiggly lines kind of shooting out from that. So we can actually use that again as a bit of a forecast going into the future. And at the end of November, we can see that if we're going to reference the 50% range, which is what Bitcoin likes to kind of play within when it is consolidating, we do see a high somewhere around about $40,000 and a low of about 36. Yeah. About just above $36,000 as it is right now. That would represent the 50% range. Of course, if we do see another explosion of volatility, we could see one of these greater levels met. I do think that probably would be biased in favor of the upside as of right now. My personal opinion kind of still stands. I do think that Bitcoin's mostly done for this month of November, but likely the next move coming in December. But hey, if we do see that explosion of volatility, well, things could get a lot more interesting with the potential high somewhere around 43-ish, just below $43,000, or a potential low somewhere just below $34,000. But here's the thing: there actually is a good potential for that because, as we do reference on the daily here, the HPDRV representing volatility, aka the dispersion of returns, is at extreme lows right now, similar to what we did see in the October lull in price action, and that does imply that the sort of inevitable expansion from these regions, could very easily correlate with one of these greater levels and ranges over here. So I did want to kind of get that out there, just for the people who, I don't know, might have maybe very relevant forecasts in December, or maybe not relevant. Well, you can maybe base it off something like this. Of course, directional volatility represented by the HPDRO is, I would really read this as neutral right now. Yes, it is slightly positive, but I'm not seeing anything like super enthusiastic about it, like we saw over here. Like this would be a lot more, obvious, right, in terms of directional volatility. This right here, to me, says consolidation continues a little bit longer. We probably see HPDRV volatility continue to base out a little bit longer. I'm still looking early December. Early December is when we probably start to see this, really expand. But for right now, sideways continues to favor the boo laws as usually, or not as usually, but as it has been more recently. And I would say, or not I would say, but the data would say that, as long as Bitcoin is, especially if I can go to my chart over here, let me go to the 5-day for Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin is above, especially that white 200 simple moving average, which is in the low $34,000 territory, about 34,300 to be exact, all consolidations above there are going to be bullishly inclined. And for what it's worth on the 5-day, I mean, this does look like, general continuation. It's just probably going to take some time as all these major moving averages are now in a, in a bullish posture now, just waiting for them to slowly cross above that white 200 simple. And right now we do see the 9 already going above. And, in the history of Bitcoin, that has just generally been a good thing, again, for the upside. But it's going to take its time, right? Again, we did see a pretty damn impressive move off of the September lows right here. It's not super crazy to be looking for a little bit more sideways as Bitcoin gets geared up for that next move. Again, likely in December. We'll go over some of the December statistics maybe tomorrow. That could be relevant. I mean, we're kind of getting, we're just a month away from Christmas, by the way. It's the 25th. Now that I recognize it. Anyways, while we're here on this chart, I do want to go to the 2-week time frame. Just point out that yes, we did see that silver cross happen 2 periods ago, and that is starting to get more and more divergence between the moving averages, suggesting that it is strengthening. And then also the 2-week jewel is getting that continuation as of this current period as well. So again, it doesn't close this week, close next week, which would be the end of the month, but you can start to see, hey, December is probably when that's going to happen. I just don't think that there's like a crazy move to be had as of right now in the short term. What else do I want to talk about? We are pretty damn early in this video. Maybe I just make this one super, super short. I guess we could just quickly go over to symbol coin. Actually, I already have on my chart over here. This was a chart that we looked at when we looked at it, I think a week ago or this past week, something like that. We said, hey, this is probably one of the more obvious charts and one of the more easy charts, and it is in traditional markets, so you might even say it's more legitimate as well. Silver cross on the weekly, breakout, seems to be very much occurring as of right now. We have the highest weekly closure this year, or almost in 2 years now, about a year and a half now, and still kind of playing out this hidden bullish evidence that we identified I wouldn't say many weeks ago, but a few weeks ago. So I'd be looking at this as likely to continue to the upside as it just completes the overall reversal, higher highs and higher lows. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. We can see that the 50% retracement is being lived upon as of right now. I would be looking for this one, probably in the coming months, maybe early 2024. We do see this one make a nice move, maybe closer to like 140, 150. That's kind of the next area that I'd be of interest to myself, just around that 618 fib right there. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. But for right now, it's continuation. Again, took a little bit of patience there, but ultimately a really seemingly stronger higher low coming in from that September-October consolidation. And again, Coinbase doing well does ultimately bode well for Bitcoin as well. So I suspect that these charts kind of play hand in hand. And again, December is probably the month. I think November is likely done. I mean, we're already basically at the end anyways. But what I mean to say is that expect a little bit more boringness and then fireworks yet again. Anyways, I think that's a good place for me to be leaving off on this video. Again, I just want to say a massive heartfelt thank you for all the support. I mean, it is crazy the amount of text that I'm getting, the amount of messages on Discord I'm getting, the amount of WhatsApp messages I'm getting, the amount of Twitter messages I'm getting is fucking insane. I really appreciate it. Again, I don't want to take anything away from my opponent. Respect to him, despite all of the bullshit, all the nonsense. I'll just let the video speak for itself. I'll let the pictures speak for themselves, and hey, that's all that it needs to be at the end of the day. So with that said, I want to wish you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully tomorrow, Sunday.